be showing you an update on my plant collection. I want to show you all of the new leaves that I have in my collection. There are a lot of new leaves. I feel like last month everything was kind of coming in, and now these leaves are open and beautiful, and I'm excited to show you them. I'll also give you an update on some plants that I am struggling with. And we're gonna start in my office because I have two plants to show you in here. This is my pride and joy, my bird of paradise. So I have had this plant for years, and honestly, I don't know why it's not as pretty. I don't know. It's just not as big and full. It also is one plant. So I don't have multiple birds of paradise in here. I only have a single one. So I guess I'm doing pretty good. And this is the first new leaf I have had in so long.
Dude, my bird of paradise is unfurling.
And I'm very excited for this. I used to heavily shower this plant every month, and I kind of got away from it. And I think that's part of the reason why I stopped seeing a lot of plants growing, a lot of new leaves. But I'm back to it, and honestly, I should probably start showering every 2 weeks because I think that's just going to help this plant grow big and beautiful. I'm hoping I can get it to the ceiling while I'm still in this house, and if I do, you will definitely see it. Now to the beautiful fry deck. So in the last month, I wanted to experiment with light for this plant. I specifically moved it over here with this focused grow light by itself to see if I can fix the issue that you can see towards the bottom of the leaves where it is leaning heavily. I know part of the reason is because I need to get a taller container. Like, it's not potted as deep. Well, it is potted as deep as I can put it. So I need to get a bigger container to house it, but I wanted to experiment with light and see if that would help kind of bring the leaves back up. And there was already a new leaf coming out, but now it is out and it's huge. So that is the size of the new leaf, and this is one of the older leaves, and it's significantly bigger. Like, it's way, this can fit. This is like the size of my hand, and this is like a hand and a half. So the light is definitely working, and these two leaves in particular have tilted back up. Obviously this one was up because it's already out, but I still think I'm going to need to repot this in the next couple weeks if I want to continue to see it grow this well, and I'm definitely going to keep it right here. I have a lot of updates in my grow tent. So what I can pull out that isn't extremely hard to pull out, I'll pull out, and everything else I will show you where it is living in the grow tent. Oh my god, this needs some water. We have a new leaf on the forgetti. This is the first leaf that I've had on this plant since it flowered a couple of months ago. I changed the position of it. It was at the bottom of the grow tent, but I put it on the top shelf once the flower was dead, and it started to sprout a new leaf. This is about the same speed it was last summer, last summer and fall. So I think it's getting back into the groove of things. I'm hoping I can get another flower and take care of that properly. I didn't the first time around, and I kind of regret it. But I will show you the roots of this plant as well, because this is one that I have in my, the combination I talk about so much. So it needs water. It needs water. I need to make my flora grow. I just haven't gotten around to it, but clearly this plant is very happy. I'm pretty sure I gave you an update on this plant last month because I continually update you on this plant because I'm just amazed by how big and beautiful and perfect this leaf is. It reminds me of the original, obviously it's the original plant, but it reminds me of like how nice those leaves were. It's perfect. It's immortalized. Yeah, and I'm just going to keep showing it to you so I can show somebody else that I can do this and I can grow the challenging Anthurium regale. Why have I not cut this leaf off? I don't know. But I did repot this in the last month, And I basically, when you're repotting this way, you kind of just readjust the roots. It's not necessarily a bigger container always, but I think I'm gonna have to get a bigger container because I can see the roots are kind of working their way down to the bottom of the container again. And this is a smaller size orchid container. I have two sizes right now and I don't have that many. They're all in use. So I'm going to need to buy some more. I kind of want to find taller orchid containers, not necessarily wider. So I will be in the market for those. We finally have a new leaf on the alba. The variegation looks beautiful. I think it's gonna be cute. Oh my gosh. Ah! I just realized I haven't looked at this closely, as close as I should have, I guess. But I can see that there's gonna be a fenestration on this. Ah! Okay, that's so exciting. Let me not touch it. Let me not mess with it. This will be my first fenestrated leaf. Obviously, this is the original that I've had on here for a year and I have not removed it and I'm not going to remove it. But yeah, I can see it. I'm going to see if I can get an up close shot for you. So if you can see, oh my gosh, I wonder if you can see that there's going to be a hole. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I don't know if you can see. I'll try to get a better shot of that, but I'm so excited. That's good. So this leaf didn't really come out fully until I put this stake in. I don't love these stakes anymore because they're kind of rickety, but they kind of worked well for glass containers and kind of like thinner containers in this manner. So maybe this type of staking helped, you know, kind of bring this new leaf out, or it was just going to be inevitable. But this will be my 5th leaf. I had a really tiny one when this was first growing. It was very tiny and I was still very excited. And then I had these 3 that are beautiful and variegated and I love them. And now we have this one. So if I can grow this just a little skeins faster, that would be great. But there's only so much you can do. And I just keep it like this. I keep it in the grow tent. It's closer to my humidifier than other plants. I think it really enjoys being in there like that, so I have no plans on moving this one anytime soon. Oh my god. Hold on. I don't think I've updated you on this plant, maybe ever. I don't know. This room is such a mess. This is a Paraiso Verde that I have had for a while. I'm just realizing how big this is, but the reason why I actually took this out of my grow tent, 1, because it was growing really tall, and 2, I want to say it had like Spider-Man, something. It had something a long time ago, like months ago. I took it out of the grow tent and I've consistently treated it and I just sit it by my window. I really don't pay attention to it that often because it is growing in the drainless method. But now that oh my god, and this stake is very flimsy. That's also why I never touched this. But now that I'm holding it, I realize how big it actually looks. And I have only ever had, I bought 1 Paraiso Verde and I have a plethora of them. If this is a plant that you're interested in, I would totally recommend it because I just think it propagates so easily. And I can show you a picture, I think, maybe, or a clip of the original Paraiso Verde that I got. I feel like I got it in 2021. So I've had it for at least a year and a half. And I have so many Paraiso Verdes. They propagate really well. And at first, it seemed really slow to me. And ever since I repotted it in the drainless method, I feel like I've had a lot more success with it. But I really, like, until I just picked it up right now, I didn't realize how big it is. Like, you can see across how long that leaf is. And a lot of my plants are kind of, I'm having a little bit of an issue. The sun, they're reaching for the windows. And most of them I try to put as close to the windows as possible. Like literally they're on the blinds, or I supplement with grow lights as well. But I don't know, the sun has been hiding lately. The last 2 weeks have been very dark and dreary. And obviously, you know, turning your plants is highly recommended. And I think I will turn this plant because I don't even look at it. I just let it be. But I think that would be a cool video to kind of show the progress of turning this plant and hopefully making it look a little bit better. But it's like, do I want to mess with it? But that would be a good experiment. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below if you think that would be a good experiment. But this is the newest leaf up here. It's kind of a big gap in between, and you can see how it's leaning, how it's leaning towards the light, but the leaf is out and there's another one behind it. And I have noticed a little bit of a strange growth pattern. I don't know if they're all like this because I have one right next to the camera, but it's kind of like it'll go back and forth with the leaves. Like you can see right here, like this leaf grew out this way and another one was right behind it, and then it just went that way, and now this one's going this way and there's another one right behind it. So it's a little bit odd, and you know, that's okay. And I almost was about to chop this plant up. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of months ago I did talk about this plant and how when I repotted it in here, the bottom, I think it was like the bottom two leaves died off like really quickly. So I was really nervous that it didn't like this method of growing. And I swear I started seeing it yellowing like towards like the bottom. So I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, I'm killing this plant. But I ended up just letting it be, which I feel like was the best option, clearly, because now it's really huge. And yeah, it's happy, it's growing, it's alive. What more can I say? It needs water. Everything needs water in here. I have been neglecting my plants a little bit the last couple weeks. I don't know. I've just been like, I don't know. I've been neglecting them a little bit, but I'm going to do some TLC on my plants today, and I will definitely film that as well. But yeah, Parisa Verde, kind of a good plant, kind of a banger. Okay, this one I have to show you really quick. Still alive. The string of pearls that I always kill. Still alive. It's kind of, oh my God, did you hear like a chicken? Anyways, string of pearls, still alive. There's some growth here. So that's exciting because I've killed literally every single one. So I've had that at least for a month. I think I got on my birthday. I did get on my birthday. So I've had it for over a month and I'm still growing it. I'm very happy with that. Here we have the varicosum. It is now on a 6-foot stake, and if it reaches the top of that in the next couple of months, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have noticed though that the leaves are not as big as I thought they would be for how long they've kind of been on the stake. I mean, the plant came long, obviously, but it's not long, but tall. So I don't know. I thought they'd be like a little bit bigger, like the gigantic one at the bottom, but it's not. I mean, I'm not mad because it's still growing, but this plant has been super, super easy, and I'm very grateful for that. Oh wow, when you discover spider mites on your plant. Well, thankfully it's isolated. How do you get spider mites? You're not even by anybody. Anywho, here is the beautiful new leaf on my monstera. This is the first leaf that has been on here since I split my big monstera into 2 pieces, and I think it's looking fabulous. I think it really appreciates the light that it's getting, and I've been a lot more consistent with my watering as well, and I just think it looks absolutely fabulous. I want a wide screen. I don't think I updated you on this plant in February. I got it in February though, like at the beginning of the month for my birthday. It's the Alocasia Regal Shield. I got this for about 36 bucks at, was it Round Rock Garden Center? I think so. I think that's where I got it from. It's fabulous. This is the newest leaf. It is literally so huge. And the way it grew in was really cool because, I'm trying to be gentle, it's still hardening actually. it was like this, and then it just like slowly turned over time. And I didn't even necessarily see it happen. It was just like I came downstairs and that's what it looked like. But all of the little other plants that are in here, because there's a few, I think it's at least 2 or 3 other little plants in here. They are continuously growing as well. I'm super happy. I'm not going to repot this plant because generally nurseries tend to take better care of their plants than big box stores. So for me, that's just another excuse not to have to repot. Plus this plant is massive and I just don't want to bother it. It's doing well and I'm really happy with how it's been growing. I am actually so shocked that this plant has a new leaf. This is a Magnificum Verde hybrid, and honestly, I was very neglectful towards this plant because it just was so stagnant. Like nothing was happening for a long time. And I just thought it just didn't like me at all. Obviously, this is the previous leaf. It was this leaf and another leaf that were on here for a very long time. And the other one turned completely yellow and I threw it in the trash. But we have this. I mean, it's shiny, it's pretty. It kind of made me fall back in love with this plant. I don't even remember it. Like, I didn't know it was going to be this color. I thought it was going to be green like this. This has always been the color. Obviously not the yellow and the browning, but it's always been like this kind of green. So I'm in awe. I don't think this plant has ever grown a new leaf for me in my care. And I think I've had this at least for a year, if not longer. I imported this from a personal seller, like somebody who sells plants overseas. So I just have never seen this plant grow anything. So I'm very happy with it. The freaking Alocasia Maharani has finally blessed us again with a new leaf. I have not seen a new leaf on this plant in like a year, I swear. I'm not even being dramatic, but I did repot it in the drainless potting method. And it's slow, but it's steady. We have a new leaf. I think there's going to be another one right behind it, and I am very excited about that. And last but not least, the star of the show lately, this Philodendron El Chaco Red has been blowing me away. I mean, it's just one after the other after the other. I did put it on a moss pole. I don't really like the moss pole though. I didn't like putting it together and it's not as sturdy as I would like for what I was looking for. But the reason that I chose this moss pole was because this plant is in the perlite moss leca combination. So I couldn't use wood like I normally probably would because it's easier and cheap. So I got these off of Amazon. They came in a set of 2. I don't love it. I don't love the look of it, and it's also not sturdy. It was a little bit challenging to put this on this plant, but I'm imagining that the plant likes it because it kind of got nestled right on there. And there is another leaf right there about to pop up. This plant has been growing insanely well, and I am just so excited to see what happens in the future with this plant. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. If there was a plant that I did not update you on that you want an update on, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.